What are some of the changes that you've seen in Milo now that Chad is with him?
The changes are so numerous. I couldn't even, it's hard to even say how much is different. Milo is just calmer because he has this constant presence. But the other thing is that Milo is happy. Because he's calmer, because he's got less of that irritation, because, sensory things can overwhelm him, but that happens so much less now because of Chad. So, before Chad, it would be really hard for us to get out of the house. Say we wanted to go to a movie, we'd have to sort of build in another 45 minutes into our time just to get out of the house because we might know that there was going to be sort of a difficult time. And you would think that having to go to movies with a dog might be even harder, but it's the opposite. It makes it possible for us to just act like normal people going to a movie. We just go, let's go to the movie, and Milo's able to get through that transition because he's focused on all that he has to do with Chad, and so we're able to get out of the house without all of those difficult feelings for him about having to get through that, and we're able to get out of the house and into a taxi cab and into the movie theater, and Chad's been to a lot of movies.
That's amazing. And Chad goes to school every day with Milo.
He does.
Right?
He goes. It's the best feeling in the world for me. Getting Milo and Chad up in the morning. Chad, I usually go into the room and Chad's asleep next to Milo, and he wakes up and is happy, and I take him out and I come back in and I say, Chad, wake Milo, and Chad runs into the bedroom and wakes Milo up, and that's great because if I were to wake Milo up, he would be really not happy, but if Chad wakes Milo up, he's happy. And it's just the best feeling to walk out of our apartment building and Milo's hooked to Chad and he's got him, and to watch them get on the bus and know that Milo's going to have a great day because he's got Chad with him, and that did not happen before Chad. School was just torture for him because there were just all these unknowns, and so it's a great thing.
What would be your advice to other families with autistic children in terms of first steps to take if they're interested in getting a service dog?
I highly recommend they step into the process and see what happens. They should just be really patient and not be discouraged because it's a daunting process. It's a long wait for something that you're not sure is going to work. But I was so sure that this was the thing after 10 long years of searching for everything under the sun that could help Milo feel comfortable. I don't know what it was, but I just was sure. And so I was just driven. And even the boys, during the 2 years before it was a real reality, at times I don't think they really believed that what I was talking about. But you just have to believe that it's going to help, and I think that there's enough people that have service dogs now that parents could maybe reach out to other families and talk to other families who have children with service dogs and see if it's going to seem right for your family.
So what are some of the ways that Chad helps Milo and comforts him in difficult moments?
Chad, he comes to him when Milo gets hurt. Chad is right next to him immediately, and Milo is very sensitive to even minor pain, so when he falls or just even bumps his head or knocks himself, he can just be so immediately undone, and it's almost hard to get near him, but Chad is just right next to him with his face up next to him, and it, what used to take half an hour to feel better now feels better in like a minute. Chad's trained to lay on top of Milo to calm him. Deep pressure is something that a lot of people do with kids with autism because it calms their nervous system. And so Chad's trained to lay on top of Milo, and it just feels good for Milo. When Milo goes to sleep, Chad's literally laying against him, and it's just a comforting thing. He falls asleep immediately, where it used to take a really long time for him to fall asleep. And he's trained to do a lot of other things, which are to keep him safe, which he definitely does outside. Milo's literally attached to him with a tether, and he's holding him. But Chad is there in case Milo gets disoriented and were to, start to walk into the street. Chad's aware and would never let that happen. And so
It's an incredible peace of mind for you as a mother to know that
Yeah.
Chad's always with him.
yeah, and Chad sort of just signals to the other people around that this is someone who might need some space, or I don't know. He's sort of, what I've noticed is that Milo's a lot more social, even just on the bus. He talks to people now, and mostly about Chad, but he wants to be talking to people, and now he has this really cool reason to talk to people, and people really respond, and it's just amazing that you can see him connecting.